So let's take a look first of all at the fabrics. I have some 10-inch red and some 10-inch cream. And normally whenever you do a Drunkard's Path, you're using a light and a dark or a medium and a light, etc. And that's what I'm doing here, just to demonstrate how this is done. And what I have finished cutting for you already is the outside as well as the pie shape right here. So I've cut those. Let me show you how that's done. And I've done that using a 10-inch square. All right, so here is the red 10-inch square, and I simply laid my template up in the corner there. And I like to use the smaller 28mm rotary cutter when I'm cutting around these templates. To me, it's just easier to maneuver, but maybe you're just as comfortable using the 45mm. Whatever works best for you. I like the smaller one, and I simply cut around it. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is cut the pie shape. And there's just going to be a little bit extra when you're finished. Let me move this white cardstock out of the way and I'll show you how this is cut. So I'm lining up these two on the edge, these two lines here on the edge of that fabric. I think I missed a spot there. Whoops, right there. All right, so there we have it. And that's all that's left from that 10-inch square from your Speedy Solutions. So what we'll do when we sew these together, we'll sew a light with a dark and a dark with a light. And it doesn't really look like they're going to actually go together right now. It doesn't look like they'll line up, but they will. And when I get to seaming them together, you'll see. So here is a Drunkard's Path block that I've already put together. I put the dark outside or background with a cream colored pie center. And I'm going to show you how I did that using the opposing sides of that Drunkard's Path unit. The first thing I did was I took all of these to the ironing board and I pressed them down the center so there was a nice crease on each of these. And those creases are going to be the matching points on the seam allowance. So that's very important that you make creases down the very center of each of your Drunkard's Paths units. And now I'm going to pin these together. The first thing I'm going to do when I pin this is to match up those creases. Right sides together, match the creases. I'm going to pin it. Now it looks kind of funny right here, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this straight edge right here and it's going to be brought around to match this straight edge right over here. That's very important. And we're going to pin it right there. And then on this side, we want this straight edge here to match this straight edge. So we're going to bring them around just like that and pin. Looks a little funny right here. Well, we'll just continue pinning. And you can use as many pins as you need to, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just going to add one more pin. I'm kind of distributing the bulk along that seam allowance. And I'm going to add one more pin into the center there. And here is the unit. This is the pie side and this is the background side. Now, I prefer to sew my Drunkard's Paths with the pie facing me. Some people like to sew their Drunkard's Paths with the background facing them. And you'll just have to practice and find out what works best for you. But I always turn it so that the pie shape is facing me. So let's bring it up to the sewing machine. And I'll move this over so that you can see. Here we go. And making sure that these seam allowances are parallel there, we're going to start sewing at a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. And when I say a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance, I am referring to about a thread or two less than a 1/4 of an inch. You'll also notice that my hand is underneath on this background fabric, and I'm just kind of moving things so that I can feel that it's flat over here and that I'm not sewing any creases into the seam allowance. I'm just playing with that. I'm going to remove pins as I go, making sure the seam allowances stay lined up. My fingers on the top can feel that things are flat, and then I'm just moving the bulk from the bottom. And as you start playing with this, you'll understand what it is that I'm doing. There we go, and I'm coming to the end. I just passed over the center line and made sure that those points, the creases matched. Okay, let's see how we did. Did we do okay? All right, looks good. And we don't have any creases, or we didn't sew in any pleats, so it looks great. Now what I'm going to do is press it to the dark. All right, so here is the completed Drunkards Path block, and it's been sewn with the scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. I've pressed it to the dark, so it depends on if your dark is in the center or out here. You'll press that seam allowance whichever direction is the dark and away from the light. You don't want the dark seam allowance showing through on the light fabric. So that's all you need to do for the Drunkard's Path. You will want to square it up to the required size. In this case, it's going to be 9.5 inches that we'll square it up to for each of the Drunkard's Paths as we piece them.